Arbor Place Mall, and the City of Douglasville are proud to present City Connector with your hosts Jeff Noles and Marcia Hampton. On today's show, we'll talk to Bennett Oliver and Stephanie Davis about the new Miracle League field coming to Hunter Park. Robert and Linda Turner will be on hand to tell us about their exceptional grandchildren. And local author Jim Hall will be on about his new book, The Train. Our musical guest today is Sam and Robert Turner. And as always, your chance to be on TV with our interactive community calendar. Now, please welcome the stars of our show, Jeff Noles and Marcia Hampton.
Welcome to another episode of City Connector. I'm Jeff Noles.
I'm Marcia Hampton.
And we have a great show in store for you today. Our first guest, of course, Bennett Oliver, our wonderful Parks Director from the City of Douglasville, and Stephanie Davis from the Miracle League.
You almost forgot your name.
I had to look down.
It's okay.
So I wanted to look down at the notes.
It's okay. Thank you for having us.
Oh, thanks for being on. So, the Miracle League. I think Bennett's got a little bit to tell us about the Miracle League. I know you have a lot to tell us about the Miracle League. But, Bennett, do we have some news for Hunter Park?
Well, as you know, we're building a Miracle League field. This will be the first field in West Georgia, and it's still under construction. We anticipate this field coming online the end of September, the 1st of October. And when built, we're really excited about this field coming on board at Hunter Park. And we joined the Miracle League, which is a league that kind of runs the program. And this is why we brought Stephanie here today to tell us a little bit about the organization.
So, Stephanie, what's your role in the Miracle League organization?
The Miracle League Association is actually based in Conyers, Georgia. So it was great to be this close to be able to work with the City of Douglasville to bring this Miracle League program to the community. Our role here is to even help construct the field as well as putting together the program. And as you know, the Miracle League is a program for children and adults with special needs to give them the opportunity to play baseball.
Awesome. Bennett, how do you foresee the Miracle League incorporating that into what your parks program already has to offer?
Well, I mean, it's going to be something that Douglas County's never seen before. I mean, we have T-ball, we have baseball all the way up to age 13 and 14, but this is going to be something special, something we've never seen before. It's going to give these kids an opportunity to play that they've never had before. So it's going to be something unique. It brings a field. We'll talk a little bit about the field in just a second that we've never had before at Hunter Park or anywhere in Douglas County. So it's going to give these kids an opportunity that they've never had before. So it's going to be really special.
So tell us a little bit about the field.
Well, you know, when you look at the field from far off, it looks just like a regular field. But when you get closer to it, it has no dirt, it has no grass. It's actually asphalt, and then they pour a surface on top of it for wheelchairs. It has the bases painted on it, has a home plate painted on, has pitcher's mound painted on it. The dugouts are open for easy access for the wheelchairs, and you know, it's just unique in every way. So it's easy acceptable for the kids. We have handicap parking, about 17 parking spaces outside of the field. For the parents, it's easy acceptable for them. So it's a very special field.
So it's a very special field. It's very unique. And from what I understand, there's not one in West Georgia.
Nope, this will be the first one in West Georgia, and according to Stephanie, it's going to be the sixth one in the state of Georgia.
Wow. So we're going to be serving a pretty large population in West Georgia.
Right. We have Miracle League kids and players coming from 60 to 90 mile radiuses to participate in the program because there just is no physical activities or programs, team sports for children with special needs.
So how do parents get their children involved? Or even, I know, reading on the website, you mentioned that it's for all ages. So how do you become involved in Miracle League if that's something that you're interested in?
I think you guys are in registration right now for the fall season for the grand opening.
Yep. Yeah, there's a group out of a couple of other parks that have been playing actually on grass fields. And, you know, we've been talking to them, trying to get them to come over. It'll be an opportunity for them to play on the Miracle League field. And so we're registering now. They can call Miko Bursich at 678-715-6059, or they can go to the city website and just go to Hunter Park's link and register their kids now.
So you need support because we're getting ready to get started. And anytime we kick off a new plan, especially like this, takes a ton of support, not only from the community, but from the business leaders across the city. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking for support.
Well, the unique thing about this is Stephanie was telling me that the biggest thing is building the field. Well, in our case, thanks to a 2002 SPLOST referendum, the mayor and city council, they designated these funds to build the field. So as Stephanie was telling us, the biggest thing, the hardest part is the field, so we didn't have to worry about that. So we will have to go out and find some support for some equipment and then get the kids involved. And working with Stephanie, we'll go out with corporate sponsorships. And I wanted to let Stephanie tell a little bit about how Major League Baseball works with your organization, ex-players and current players. Tell us a little bit about who's involved there and how they work with you.
Actually, the local clubs all over the country have gotten involved in building fields and supporting the programs in their community. Individual players as well have stepped up to the plate to either sponsor teams or be field sponsors or just come out and be buddies. And we can talk a little bit more about being a buddy. But Major League Baseball teams have stepped up greatly. The Braves were involved in our first location in Conyers, Georgia. And some of the players continue to support the national office and also some local leagues in Georgia. But the best thing you can do, we have 3 areas where you can get involved. You can either donate, become a sponsor, or you can become a player, or you can volunteer to be a buddy. And they'll need all of those. So if they play with 100 players this season, they'll need 100 buddies and 100 volunteers to help participate. We have an able-bodied buddy with a Miracle League player at all times.
And how do you find out more information about becoming involved on any of those levels?
You can visit our website at miracleleague.com and contact me. I'm on the contact us page, or you can call Nico as well because he'll be the program director for the Miracle League as well.
Okay, so Marcia, you're going to volunteer?
I am going to volunteer.
Excellent.
How about you? You just signed me up, so.
Well, I mean, of course.
Oh.
I promise the buddies get more out of the program than the players do. It's a really neat special experience for everybody involved.
That's awesome. Now, will you guys be partnering with any of the local schools? Because I know this is something that the schools won't have either. So are there any plans for that?
We'll definitely talk with the special needs programs at the schools, be recruiting players from that program.
Right.
And, one thing that Stephanie was talking about, the buddy program, it's not just parents. The brothers and the sisters come out, the grandmothers and grandfathers come out. So, that's something that really, really is exciting. So, look forward to that.
So when do we plan on having our first game?
Well, we're going to deal with Stephanie. We want her to have some Atlanta Braves players come out. We want Chipper Jones to be at our grand opening.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can arrange that for us, can't you?
Yeah.
You better make it after World Series.
Chipper
then.
Jones is coming to Douglasville.
If anybody has any connections, please make that happen.
Maybe Hobby
Yeah.
Lake. We're going to work our grand opening, like we said, the end of September, maybe sometime the 1st of October. I know there's several, you were telling us there's several new organizations coming online, so we're kind of competing with as far as weekends, but we'll be working with her, and then they'll plan that. So, but we anticipate late September, 1st of October for our grand opening for our field. So.
All right, any final comments before we wrap up with you guys today?
Well, I would just challenge everybody to go to the miracleleague.com website. They do have a small video there. It's heartwarming just to see. It shows some of the pictures of the kids and just learn a little bit more about the organization. And, we're just really excited about this coming to Douglas County. And, Stephanie, you have anything to say?
This program will change your community, and it will change the lives in your community, and it will change the citizens of your community. The Miracle League is probably one of the most unique and special programs that you can be involved with, whether you be a donor, volunteer, or buddy, any of those aspects. And like I said, just get involved, come out, see a game, and I think you'll fall in love with it. And now these kids will have a program where they can play baseball alongside their peers and siblings as well.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So look for it at Hunter Park very soon. We've not committed to a date. Bennett's danced all over the date. He won't tell me.
Construction.
Yeah, construction.
I'm thinking September, October-ish maybe.
I don't think that his crystal ball is working.
Yeah, it's not working. We're not. But look for it in the fall of 2011 for sure. We'll be having our first Miracle League game, and we'll send it over to the community calendar with Janice and Kelly.
All right, and welcome to the interactive community calendar. Janice, we are back at Arbor Place Mall in the food court area and enjoying our new location.
I know, and it's great. We're getting to not only do our show, but visit with great people that maybe we don't see.
And
unless-
have lunch with everyone.
Absolutely.
Tell us who's lined up on the interactive community calendar, our first guest up today.
Our first guest is Mike Sluter with West Pines Golf. Mike, would you join us?
Mike, we invite you to join us right between us here. There you are, sir. How are you? You are with the West Pines Golf Club. And we want to find out what's going on over at West Pines.
Well, as of August 8th, West Pines is now under the management of the city of Douglasville, which we are all very pleased to be associated with the city now. Even in the short period of time that we have been associated with the city, things have become a lot better for the golf course and for the staff and everything as well. The golf course is with the assistance of the Park and Recs department, is getting in better shape. Our greens are in very good condition. Our play is actually picking up quite a bit. The first 3 weeks, we've had an increase of about 10 to 15% each week. We've got a new set of carts ordered, a new fleet of carts ordered that should be in the middle of September. We have done a couple things too that might be of interest to the viewers. We've relaxed our dress code a bit at the golf course. We previously have required a shirt with a collar all the time at the golf course. We no longer do so. We just are simply asking the clientele that their attire be neat and clean, and we're glad to have them. It's more of we're now officially a municipal golf course, and that's why we've tried to
Make the right changes or adjustments.
make the adjustments so accordingly. We just recently added a range pass, which a lot of folks have been requesting. It's the ability to hit range balls at a reduced price. They can buy a pass for $80 and hit $100 worth of range balls.
Wow.
So that would be of interest to someone who's an avid golfer, I'm sure.
Well, we have a lot of folks. We've already been selling quite a few this month without a lot of notification. So we're very pleased with that. So.
Or Kelly, a player like me that needs to spend mega time on the driving range prior to going on the greens.
Well, let me ask, since I'm not a player, so if I'm interested in lessons, still available?
Absolutely. I teach quite a bit myself. I have a new assistant, a young man named Chris Cartwright, who was actually one of my junior golfers at a previous club, and he's just recently graduated from Reinhardt University and is working with us. Chris has been instrumental this summer in hosting our junior golf camps. We had 2 camps, one in June, one in July, and they were both essentially full. And then following the camps, Chris also had a Monday junior day. And any junior that was either in the camp or just wanted to come to the golf course from 8 o'clock until 11:30, Chris was there to help them with their play and to set up competitions based upon their playing abilities each Monday.
Well, it sounds like a lot of neat things happening there at the West Pines Golf Club. If you want to schedule a tee time or get in touch with the offices there and find out more about that, how can people do that?
Simplest thing to do is one of two things. You can call us, 678-391-1600, or go to our website, westpinesgc.com. And our website is very up to date, and it's very easy to schedule tee times. In fact, we offer a lot of discounts and specials online that you may not see if you just call us up. So make a point of checking those out.
And you and I were having a side conversation over here, and you said basically the focus is to get more families involved. So if you have a little one that's interested in golf, they can come along and play. And you want to just tell us a second? That was my interpretation. Now you tell us the real deal.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we've worked hard to make sure that everybody in the family, that this becomes more of a family-oriented facility. We have a lot of things for juniors. For instance, 365 days a year, anytime after 2 o'clock any day of the week, a parent can bring the child over to play golf, and a junior is anybody under the age of 17. Bring them over to the golf course. If the parent pays their standard fee, there is no greens fee charged for the junior. The only thing that there is a charge for is if junior does ride a cart, but they pay the cart fee. But we also host Alexander High School boys and girls teams. Rick Blackstone and Lee Stanley have done a great job with those teams. In fact, the girls team this year, for the first time, qualified for regionals. So it's a first for their, and they're very proud of that. So and we've got a lot of other things too. One thing that we offer we encourage quite a bit. We have something we call a kind of a 3-hole special. Our golf course doesn't come back to the clubhouse after 9, but it comes back to the clubhouse after 3 holes. So any day of the week, really late afternoon, that somebody that would like to can come out and play the first, second, and third holes, including golf cart, for a mere $8.
That's a deal.
Practice.
That's great. Well, thank you for bringing all of that information to us. We want to make sure people visit the website, find out more information. We're going to have you on. Sounds like a lot more information than we could cover here in this little segment. But thank you for being with us, and come visit the West Pines Golf Course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
All right,
for being
Janice,
here.
who is our next guest up?
Our next guest is Dawn Brown from the Pregnancy Resource Center. Will you
Hey, Miss
join us
Dawn.
here?
How are you today?
Great. Thank you for asking. How are you, ladies?
We're very good and excited to be here in the food court. You're with the Pregnancy Resource Center. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, we're hosting the annual Walk for Life this September 17th, and we are eager to have at least 100 additional walkers this year because our goal has been raised to 75,000, which we're praying God will meet. And if you would like to participate, you could do in a number of ways. You could be a sponsor to a walker, or you could register to walk yourself, or you could come out and volunteer that day, whatever it is you prefer. And if you'd like to register online, you can just go to our website, it's partnersofprc.com, and there's a link to how to register online and build your own web page. So you can have people just go and donate on your direct web page. So that we're excited about that because it links right through Facebook, and we've got Twitter, and I'm not really up on all that. But
So
it's
you have
nice.
all the social media
Yes, exactly.
outlets involved. That's great.
right.
And tell me again, or tell our viewers again, that date of the walk.
The date is September 17th. The walk actually starts at 10, but registration begins at 9. So, and you can just walk on that day if you'd like.
And that's happening in the downtown area, correct?
We start at the O'Neill Plaza, and we're going to just travel around the square since they finished the new sidewalks, and it's not even quite a mile. And actually, if you're unable to walk that day, you can walk on your own, and we would still honor the sponsorships that you picked up. So.
All righty. Well, great, Dawn. Thank you for bringing that information to
Thank
us.
you.
People, visit the website, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank
All
you.
right. Janice, we have time for one more guest.
Yes, Shelley Michael and
Hi, Miss
Vince
Shelley.
is going to join
How
us
are you?
here.
Now, did you tell me Shelley is a neighbor of yours as well?
Yes, she is. We used to play tennis together. Now she has advanced far ahead of me.
All right.
I don't know about that anymore, Janice.
Okay. But Shelley, you're here with your guest, and what are y'all here to let our community know about?
Yeah, we're here today to promote a special event in Tributary subdivision called Tributary Jazz on the Green. And it's a wonderful outdoor family-filled event where we'll have vendors and live music. So it's a wonderful, I guess, community, neighborhood, get to know everybody type of event. And we're going to have it out on our lawn on Founders Park. And Vince here is in charge of our entertainment and can tell us a little bit more about who is performing that day.
We have slated for each of the first 3 Sundays in September artists that are in the community here in Atlanta and highly known in the community for their jazz and whatnot. And we have a young man who has his own entertainment company. His name is Brian Andrews. He's a drummer, and he has the hottest jazz song in the Atlanta market right now.
Wow.
And he's coming in to start off the Labor Day weekend for us. And so that's going to be wonderful. We also have another gentleman who plays keyboards, and he also plays guitar, and he hosts another group of men to come in, and his name is Rodney Edge of Edge Music. And to close out our session, we have 2 men who bring on different musicians as well, who's going to close us out. And the name of the group that they've started at Tributary at Founders Park last fall, their name is Synergy. And they're featuring this saxophone player that everyone has come to love, and his name is Abraham, the sax man. And he goes out and he plays in the audience and things like that. Women croon and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what? But it's a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like a great family activity. And once again, that's at the Tributary, which is down 92 South. Take a left on, we used to call it Lower River Road, but it's Riverside Parkway. Head on down and Tributary is on the left. Open to the community. Tell us first three weekends of September.
First 3 Sundays in September, and it's going to be an evening event from about 4 till 8 o'clock in the evening. So bring your picnic baskets and your families and enjoy.
Picnic basket.
You answered my question. I was going to say, is this something like you spread your tablecloth, chandeliers, have a
Please do.
contest,
Yes.
who has the best decorated
Yes.
table?
That's right.
Please do, please do.
And Tributary is known for events like this. That's what makes us so special. We have a lot of varied events that bring the community together, so you can talk with your neighbors and meet people and have a good time.
Well, thank you for bringing that, letting the community know that they are welcome and invited. Thank you very
for joining us.
much.
Good to see you.
Janice, if somebody wants to be on the community calendar, they have the opportunity to do here the last Tuesday of every month. Is that right?
Absolutely. Just join us here. Be here around 11:30. We start broadcasting around noon. If you have something you'd like to have the community involved in, we'd welcome you to come here. Or if you just want to come and be a part of our office and enjoy the wonderful entertainment that we have each month and our special guests.
All righty, we've got more special guests and more City Connector right here.
We're back with our next guest, Robert and Linda Turner, who I probably have to say are the proudest grandparents that I've met today.
Definitely.
For sure.
We are proud. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being on the show. Robert's done something really special. As far as I'm concerned, you've taught your grandson, Sam, to play the banjo over the internet.
And speakerphones.
And speakerphones. Now,
Yes.
you live in Alabama,
Yes,
and your grandson lives in New Jersey.
that's correct.
And you taught him how to play the banjo.
I did.
And tell us how that happened.
Yeah.
Well, the main thing is to have everything duplicated. Of course, I had to get him a banjo, and once I had him a banjo, then we got the same textbooks, we got the same equipment, everything, same computer programs, and speakerphones. And so every Tuesday, I would call him up, we'd go over the lesson and listen to each other. If we had a problem, then the computer program that I had, I could write out tablature music, email it to him, and then on his computer he could play it and hear how I wanted it to sound.
Wow.
Or at least the way I had written it to sound.
Wow.
And so it also kept us in contact with each other each day, or not each day, but each week.
Well,
So I was going to ask, how old was he when you started these lessons?
About 10,
and how old is he now?
14.
So over the past 4 years, he's gotten progressively better at playing the banjo.
Yes, he has.
And I'm assuming he might have had a little bit of a music background before he started trying to learn to play the banjo.
Yes, his mother was a voice major at one of the New York colleges, and she did off-Broadway stuff, and so she had him there to encourage him. His dad, my second son, plays the guitar and bass, and Sam became the fifth generation banjo player in the family.
Wow. Sounds like you have a very talented group of folks in your family. I know collectively they all do something very unique. And you were telling me about that a little bit earlier. And what's that?
They do sign language.
Wow. Wow. What started out, how did they get into sign language?
Well, their church, they had some people that came to their church that were deaf, and so they wanted to be able to minister to them. And so they started it, and so now they all are doing sign language, and the church ministers to those people. It's a great ministry.
And back on the music talent, I believe they recently sang the national anthem at the local baseball park.
Our oldest granddaughter, Shannon, and her mom sang the national anthem, and they did the sign language with it.
And they signed it at the same time.
Very impressive.
Wow. Very impressive.
All right.
One of our other notes on here says something about a puppy project.
Sam and Seth are both on the puppy project. They've each raised a puppy. Well, Seth is raising his now. Sam has already raised 2. One made the program. One became a house pet.
for a CNI program.
Yes, CNI program.
All right.
Wow. So we've talked a little bit about your grandkids. Tell us something unique about the two of you. When you met, how long you've been married, and I heard that Douglasville is kind of special to you guys.
Yes, we have been married for 47 years.
Wow.
And we went to college together, and then we kind of dropped out. And
Out of college.
yes, and after we got married, and so anyway, he went to work in Atlanta, and we moved to Douglasville when our oldest one was in first grade.
Okay.
And so all 3 of our children, for the first 6 years of their life, were in the Douglasville school system.
Awesome.
Wow.
Now, we talked a little bit about the school system, and one of the unique things about these grandchildren that I understand is they're homeschooled.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
So
Their mom homeschools them, and they're doing fantastic. Shannon will be a senior this year.
Wow.
And so it's worked out fantastic.
that's
for
what
them.
gives us the awesome opportunity to have them on our show today.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, actually, in New Jersey, you don't start to school until after Labor Day.
Wow. You think we can talk to the school board about that?
That
here?
used to happen here in Georgia, and
No.
I think we got pretty far
I
behind.
think we got shafted, especially considering the heat.
Yeah, I think so too.
So their mother taught them until they reached the more advanced math area of their education, and then Dad took over the math.
Great. That's probably that music comes in handy
Yes.
to being able to master the math.
And I think you have more opportunities to do the other things like sports and music when you can kind of work your curriculum around those. And
A full 12-hour day as opposed to
Yes.
cramming it into the
Yes.
6 or 7 hours that they're in
that's
school.
right.
Correct.
And even Shannon is now teaching piano lessons. And,
Wow.
Excellent,
That's
excellent. I think we're going to have a special treat a little bit later on.
Yes.
All this talk of banjo. I think we're going to have grandfather and grandson.
That's correct.
2 of the 5 generations up here playing a song for us shortly, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I am here with 3 special guests, and I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves and state their names. I think we were talking to their grandparents earlier. So, Miss Shannon, if you want to start off.
I'm Shannon, and I'm 17.
I'm Soleil, and I'm 10.
I'm Seth, and I'm 11.
Well, I was just speaking with your grandparents, and they indicated that you guys have some very special talents. One, they indicated to me that you all sign, and you've done that. And just tell me a little bit about that and why you think that that's important.
Well, it started out, it was just a class with our homeschool group, but now we have deaf people who come to our church, and it's just really important to be able to communicate with them. I was recently talking with one of them, and she was like, it's great that you're trying to learn to communicate.
So how do you feel about it, Slay?
I feel happy that I can help with the deaf people. I can talk to them, and yeah.
That's good. Seth?
I just think it's fun.
You think it's fun? That's good. That's usually always important. You're my smiler because you always smile. You have the best smile. I think that's awesome. Also, you were talking about your musical talents, and I hear that you are very musically talented, Shannon. Tell me a little bit about the musical instruments that you play.
I play the piano. I took violin for a little bit, but don't do it anymore. So, yeah.
Do you have any plans later on to maybe pursue those interests in college since you are a senior in high school?
Yes, I probably will continue to play in college.
That's good. Now, Seth, I hear that you like a ton of stuff, including sports, acting. What do you say would be your favorite?
I have to say probably the drums.
The drums? Can you play really well?
Yeah, I guess.
Now, do you play in your church or do you just play for fun?
I played for my church a couple times.
That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Now, Soleil, I heard there was a very important project that you worked on to help a kid that was, that was in an orphanage, very similar to a situation that you guys were in. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that project?
Well, I wanted to start guiding, but I didn't know what to do it for, so I decided I would help this kid named Toivo Thomas because he wants to go to medical school and he has to go to college first. So I was gonna get some money so he could go to college.
Well, and the importance of that is that the two of you guys are adopted. So you were adopted into good families, and you were looking to help someone else in an unfortunate situation such as that?
Yeah.
And I heard that you were able to establish a garden, and did you grow all of those things yourself?
Yes.
What type of produce did you grow?
I grew strawberries, tomatoes,
wow,
herbs, and now we grow broccoli.
Wow, that's very, broccoli is very hard to grow.
Yeah.
It's like one of those hard things, broccoli and lettuce. So that's very impressive. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add before we take it over to your brother and your grandfather to give us a little bit of musical inspiration?
I don't think so.
Well, I thank you guys for joining us. You're very talented, and we are happy to have you here on the show with us. So we really appreciate having you.
Thank you for having us on.
You're welcome.
Welcome back. We're here with our next guest, Jim Hall, Lithia Springs High School graduate of 78.
Yes.
1978.
That's right.
Were you going to indicate like 1878? I mean, whatever 78 would have been.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
It's important to say 1978, just like it's important to say 2011 instead of 2011.
Just checking, just verifying.
I think you say 19 and 78, then it's been so long.
Yeah, there you go. And 78. 19 and 78.
That's right.
Jim just recently completed a book.
Right. Right.
So how do you feel?
I'm glad that it's completed. It's about a 6-month process, and it required a lot of time and a lot of sitting in front of a computer, which I'm not really used to.
Right.
But and really focusing on completing the task, and having a reasonable beginning and a reasonable end. So, I mean, a book can be 1,000 pages or 500. It just depends on your attitude.
You've now been added to a very short list of authors from Douglasville.
Yes.
Wow.
There's not very many of them, and it's not any discredit to our school system because we have some great teachers in our school
Absolutely.
system.
That's right.
We really do.
I think you felt inspired by one of yours.
I've been inspired by a few of the teachers that have taught me in the past. One was Ralph North, who taught me the biggest lesson I ever learned, which was whoever told you the world was fair.
Hey,
and conduct cut, anybody that remembers. And Linda Spriggs, who was my English composition teacher, who unfortunately passed away yesterday.
Wow.
And I have a tribute to her in my book. When I was in her class, she was the nicest teacher to ever flunk me. She would sit down with me and she'd put my papers next to each other and show me how I'd transitioned from awful to not so bad, from not so bad to okay, from okay to good. And, you know, she put her arm around me. I believe that charity starts at home, but it first starts in your heart. And I believe she used a little bit of that charity when she passed me out of her class and I went on to college.
Wow. So how do you when you're sitting down writing that book and you're thinking about those people who have influenced you, was it something that you've always wanted to do is write, or is it considering, I know you're going to talk to us a little about the idea of the book, was it, you know, that thought and you said, you know what, I can do this?
Well, you know, it started out as just, I've always been a storyteller. I like to tell stories. And a lot of the stories that are in the train ride, the name of the book, I've condensed a lot of stories and finally wrote them down. I've been telling these stories for 25 years and finally got around to just deciding I was going to write them down. And when I connected all the dots, it became a book. And not to give the book away, it's an interesting story about a train ride.
And he said go buy the book if you want to hear the rest of the story. We've both actually heard a little bit more in-depth description of the book, and it is a very, very touching story when all the pieces are tied together.
Right. Well, the story revolves around a friendship that I have with my best friend named Brian Horst. He's from Mobile, Alabama. We went to college together for the last 2 years of college, and I went to Troy University, and I squeezed 4 years of college into 5. That's important to know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I did finish the drill. I did complete the task. But a week before I was to walk with my cap and gown, we were at our fraternity house, and a slow-moving train was coming by, and I was going to suggest, you ever want to jump on a train, just ride it across town? And before I could say it, he said it. So we tried. It took us about 2 days to jump that train. We rode it about 2.5 miles across town and jumped off. Well, a slow-moving train was coming back in the other direction. So we decided we'd jump on and ride it back to where we started, you know, get our cake and eat it too. By the time we got to the other side of town, the train was going 70 miles an hour.
Wow.
And when it slowed down enough for us to have the guts to jump off, we were 40 miles above Birmingham, which was 187 miles away.
Wow.
And we walked all the way back.
How long did it take to walk back to Troy?
It took about 3.5 days.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, we were subject to wild packs of dogs. We walked up on a Ku Klux Klan rally. I mean, this is very, very backwoods. If you know how a train travels,
Yeah.
It goes through the beautiful parts of the country, but the worst parts of town. So it was interesting because when we exited the train, it was like our clothes had exploded because we jumped off at 35 miles an hour. So when we came to, you know, other than being knocked cuckoo, our clothes were just destroyed. So we couldn't get a ride, and nobody wanted to pick us up. And who would have?
Wow. So was there ever any point, and not really giving away the book, that you thought along that journey, man, we may not make it back?
Yes. When we were chased by the dogs, I just told myself, this is it. I'm going to die in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to have been eaten by dogs. But not to give anything away, we both finally were just so tired, and our clothes were so ragged, we were falling down from trying to run. Brian picked up a rock and spun around and hit the lead dog right between the eyes, and when he fell to the ground, the other dogs jumped on him, and it gave us a chance to run and hide.
Wow. All right. Publishing a book, the book is, we've got to read the book.
That's very intense.
Because now we've heard way too much about it not to read the whole book.
That's a very small piece.
Yeah, I know, very, very small piece. But publishing a book, writing a book, is an expensive undertaking. Tell us a little bit about the process that you went through with that.
Well, when I actually got the book written, and I say written, I mean, this is before it was edited. You know, I had a number of the class of 78 that Kelly and I graduated with read the book, and I just decided I'm going to let some folks read it and just get some feedback. And when I got positive feedback on it, I thought, okay, how am I going to publish this? And, of course, I sent a couple of excerpts out to some big publishing companies, and a 51-year-old unheard of author, they blew me off. And, I mean, I didn't even hear back from them. It was that bad. But my wife and I were driving back from Gainesville from visiting our grandson, and we heard of a website called Kickstarter, Kickstarter.com. And what you can do is you can submit your idea to Kickstarter regardless of what it is, and you can have funds raised. And so I submitted my book to Kickstarter. They approved my book, and I posted it on Facebook, and I had 29 people pony up $3,200, and that's enough to get the book published. And that includes ebooks and softbacks and hardbacks. So it's in the process of being edited now, and it'll be going to print next week.
Wow.
So the ebook will be available faster than the print book?
I think they want them all to be available at the same time, but I mean, I do believe that the ebook will be available immediately, and that's after they format it their way.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot to do. I'm using BookLogix and Alpharetta, and they've offered all those services.
So you can pull that up on your iPad.
Yeah,
your
no.
iBooks.
Yeah, I've never read one on the iPad. So
Really?
yeah, no.
I all the time.
I use the paper book. So.
And this is not a serious book. This is a humorous book.
Yeah.
It's a humorous
But
book.
it's a
full of
good.
funny
But
stories.
it has a great story. Now,
Oh yeah, it's a great story about friendship.
Now you've taken a while before you told this story.
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah. We had an agreement that after we got back to the front door of our fraternity house, my friend Brian looked at me and he's like, "We can't tell this story for 25 years." He said, "If you tell this story to anybody, I'm going to say you're a liar." So through the years, I mean, we were in each other's weddings and announced children, and we'd vacation together and that kind of thing. And, you know, we'd tell little pieces of the stories to our wives and to our kid friends and such, but we never told the train ride story.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I couldn't give away the ending, but we just missed our 25th year anniversary by 2 weeks. So,
wow.
And that ending's in the book.
Wow.
Okay.
So we're not going to give away the ending.
We're not going to give away the ending. Is there any final comments that you would like to tell folks where the book can be available, that type of information?
Well, it's going to be on Amazon.com. BookLogix will have will be the printer. I'm having an initial printing done, and I'm going to give a very nice book to those that gave. I mean, a very nice hardback, gold label print book, and of course, there'll be, like I said, there'll be softbacks, but you can order through Amazon and through the Train Ride website that's being set up right now.
Great. All right. Well, thanks for being on our show.
Thank you for having me.
And we're over to the interactive community calendar again with Janice and Kelly.
Kelly and I would like to welcome you back to another segment of the Interactive Community Calendar, and we have our very first guest, Jerry, and you're with the Cultural Arts Center.
Yes, thank you. Today I want to talk about the series of events that are going to take place at the Cultural Arts Center during the month of September. Our first event is the Georgia Wood Turning Association's event, which is an exhibit and an exhibition which will take place at the opening reception on the 1st of September. Then on the 10th of September, we're starting our free concert series on the plaza. The first group will be Zydeco T, which will be playing some Cajun music. And then on the 17th, we have the Flying Oatsman, who is going to be playing some rock and roll music. And then on the 24th, we have a Grammy-nominated percussionist by the name of Enrico Scott, who will be performing, again, from 7 to 9. All of the concerts on the plaza are free, and we encourage you to bring your lawn chair or whatever you want to sit on, because I don't think anybody wants to sit on the concrete during these concerts. And this is all of the events that are going to be taking place at the Cultural Arts Center during the month of September.
And the Cultural Arts Center always has great activities. City TV is always glad to be there to cover those events and rebroadcast them. It's a great time, family activity. Like you said, bring your lawn chair.
That's right.
Come join us. All 3 weekends, or it's 3 weekends.
There's 3 weekends in September, starting the second weekend of the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th.
Great family activity.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerry, for being with us and sponsoring or representing the Cultural Arts Center.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Janice, who do we have up next as our next
guest is Omar Daniel, and he is from the Convention Visitors Bureau. And we're glad to have you with us. Just step right in here, Omar.
You let you step in between us, Omar. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. We're going to let you tell us what's going on and what are you representing?
I'm representing the West Georgia Quad Charity Bike Ride. That's going to be on October 22nd at 8 a.m. It's going to help raise money for the United Way of Douglas County and Paulding County.
So it's a charitable event, fundraiser.
Yes, I'm going to be volunteering my time in the morning at Boundary Waters for the part of the triathlon that they're going to be having. And then in the afternoon, and noontime, I'll be at the bike race. And then at night, they'll have the moonlight run part of the Moonlight Run.
Alrighty.
Now, will this also include the tyke ride for the children
Yes, the tyke ride, I believe, will be in the morning of the 22nd.
on the plaza there at
Yes.
downtown Douglasville?
Yes.
And that's a special interest. I think you had someone from your family who won that last year?
Yes, and Sir Brent has already been practicing. He thinks it's going to be, he's challenging all the other children 2 years in a row.
Okay, we look forward for him to come out. Everybody can go on to westgeorgiaquad.com, westgeorgiaquad.com, and they can get more information about registration and times for each different event.
Alrighty. Well, we thank you for bringing that event to us. I know we've got lined up on next month's program a little bit more detailed information about that, but thank you for bringing that. To go ahead, because we need those registrations in, don't we?
Yes, we do. Please sign up. westgaquad.com, westgaquad.com. Thank you.
Omar, thank you for representing that today.
Thank you.
Appreciate your help in the community.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. We got another guest?
Yes, we do. We have Ellen McCummins joining us, and Ellen brings with her her own special guest.
Ellen, you have a fluffy little friend with you. Step in.
This is our mascot, Freddie, for the Lily Pads Forever Foundation. Our theme is the frog, so at every event you will see Freddie along with frog items. I'm here today because we're sponsoring a cancer walk in downtown Douglasville, September 24th, and we're trying to get everyone registered, get some participants to come out and be a part of this. I know everybody doesn't like to go into the city of Atlanta or come up with an enormous amount of money to be able to participate. So for $25, you can register with the Lily Pads Forever Foundation and walk on September 24th.
Right downtown, close to home.
O'Neill Plaza. We'll start out there and we'll walk through downtown Douglasville by the high school, through the neighborhood, and we'll return into O'Neill Plaza. We'll be offering some snacks and some drinks and some fellowshipping.
So come out, raise money for a needy cause, get your daily exercise, and enjoy snacks.
Yes.
Wow, what an event.
Yes, and meet your neighbors.
And I tell you what, that downtown walk or stroll, we've done that with the mayor in one of our presentations. It's a very nice, pleasant downtown area to walk through, and like you said, get to join up with your friends and for a great cause.
Yes.
Tell us that date again and registration, how they can make their registration.
You can actually register online, the lilypadsforeverfoundation.org. You can find some flyers and registration forms actually in the Kroger, Chapel Hill Road, Workout Anytime. Lots of places they're out. And you can see me here in the mall. Okay?
And Freddie's going to be at the walk.
Yes, absolutely. Freddie will be there.
We look forward to seeing Freddie on the 24th.
Okay,
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. And you know, if you have a community event that you would like to have promoted, you can do so here. Tell them, Janice, it's the
fourth Tuesday of each month here at Arbor Place Mall, or you can pre-register at the City TV website.
That's right. Michelle does a great job lining everybody up for us, and so if you have a promotion you want to do here in the local community, join us on the interactive community calendar.
Welcome back, and we have Sam and Mr. Turner here going to play us out. Sam, what are we going to hear?
We're going to hear a song called Oh Susanna, and also Bio Dem Cabbage Down.
All right, and I'm a big fan of the banjo, so anything you play, it's good with me. Remember, this show will be aired, if you happen to miss it, live at Arbor Place Mall. The show will be aired Thursday at 7 p.m., and you can see us on Digital Comcast 22.
Mr. Turner, any further comments before we say so long and you play us out?
Just glad to be here.
Yeah, I thought Marcia was going to finish up what all we're on. Tributary, Channel 98 or mycitytv.com. Thanks for joining us. Remember, always the fourth Tuesday or the last Tuesday of the month at Arbor Place Mall at 12 noon in the food court.
And you can watch this show at 7 p.m. on Thursdays.
Thanks for being with us. Play us on out.